What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Thursday morning. It's the day before Friday. And Friday, I know, is the day that so many people look forward to because it signals the end of their work week. But just hold on. You'll be there soon enough. I promise you will be there soon enough. It's all about timing. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're blessed. Good morning, Teresa. So good to see you on here. And it was great to see you last night and spend some time talking to you. And I'm praying God's blessings over you today. For those of you who weren't able to make it to Crossroads Bible study last night, it was phenomenal. John Sweezy did a great job bringing the Word of God to us and unpacking Matthew chapter 6. And y'all, I'm so excited about what God is doing at Crossroads. And there's so many things that are coming up in the next month or 2 months that I can't wait to share some of it with you, of where God is leading us and what God is doing. As you know, we've been talking about enlarging our tent, stretching out our cords, securing our stakes, and preparing for the harvest that God has for our church. And we're believing God for that. We're believing God for increase in influence in our community, increase in reaching the lost in our community, increase in growing and establishing and solidifying our children's ministry, which is such a critical area of our church right now. And so I want to ask you to help me pray about that. We need to bolster that. We need to strengthen that. We need leadership in that. So I want to ask you to help me pray for our children's ministry at Crossroads. Because, I really believe that everything that God does is about timing. It's about perfect timing. So I want to speak to you for just a brief moment on perfect timing. But let me just say, good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Miriam. Glad you're on here. I hope that y'all are doing well. I pray over you every single day. And I know that God is continuing to use you in ministry, even though I believe you're officially retired, right? So, but you and Hector are a blessing in my life. So I thank God for you. But, I want to talk for just a moment about perfect timing. The Word of God tells us in Galatians chapter 4 and verse 4 that in due season, at just the right time, God sent His Son, Jesus, into this world, born of a virgin, to redeem and save mankind. In due season. I think that's important because there's a timing to everything that God does. There is a season for everything that God works and for His will. And for many, many years, hundreds and hundreds of years, the nation of Israel waited for the promised Messiah. Good morning, Eric. Glad you're on here, buddy. Miss you, man. Come see us soon. For many, many years, hundreds of years, the nation of Israel waited on the promised Messiah. And listen, during that time, God raised up numerous deliverers, numerous judges. God raised up numerous prophets. God raised up many kings in the nation of Israel. And yet, the Messiah had not shown up yet. But at just the right time, in due season, God sent Jesus. And boom, the Messiah was born into this world. And I don't know who I'm speaking to right now about timing, but some of us may feel like we have been praying, we have been expecting, we have been believing for a long, long time. We have been waiting on the promises of God. We have been praying. We have been sowing those seeds and we have been watering that ground, and we still haven't seen the increase. We still haven't seen the harvest. We still haven't experienced the promise of God becoming reality in our lives. God has spoken His word over you. God has given you promises for your life. And yet they feel like promises unfulfilled, like the nation of Israel waiting for the promised Messiah. Listen to me. There is a timing with everything that God does. And we must trust His timing. Let me say this to you. Somebody that's listening today, you've been waiting on God's timing. Don't give up. Don't become weary, because in due season, the Word of God says, in due season, at just the right time, God will show up. In this waiting period, in this period of expectancy where the promise has not been realized or fulfilled yet, in those moments when you're walking it out day by day, just waiting on the timing of God, don't become discouraged. Don't become beaten down. Don't become depressed because you haven't heard from God. Because I'm telling you, somebody needs to hear this, because your due season is about to show up in your life. The perfect timing of God is about to be revealed in your life, where God is going to show up, and those things for which you have been believing, God is going to bring the fulfillment of that promise. So don't become weary. Don't become discouraged. Don't become afraid. He's right on time. He has perfect timing. He's not a minute too soon. He's not a moment too late. He's always right on time. I love you guys and pray it for you today. May the richness of God's love and His presence be poured out in your lives. Take care of yourselves. Pray for this old pastor as I pray for you. I love you today. God bless.